happened with Iran in the Middle East and some breaking news coming just now. Joining us this evening, Vice President J.D. Vance. Mr. Vice President, thanks for coming.
Absolutely, thank you.
Just seconds ago, the President went to Truth Social and typed this. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire. Complete and total ceasefire is what he typed.
Yep.
What does that mean? How did it come about? What's the development here?
Well, we were actually working on that just as I left the White House to come over here. So that's good news that the president was able to get that across the finish line. I think what it means, Brett, is quite simple. First of all, the president, without, knock on wood, having a single American casualty, obliterated the Iranian nuclear program. We are now in a place where we weren't a week ago. A week ago, Iran was very close to having a nuclear weapon. Now, Iran is incapable of building a nuclear weapon with the equipment they have because we destroyed it. So that's a very, very big thing. Now, what that means, I think, is we have to talk to Iran and, of course, to Israel about what the future holds. Because while we have obliterated the Iranian nuclear program, our hope and our expectation is that they're not going to try to rebuild that program. And I think that's what the president is really trying to figure out here, is to build a long-term settlement here to where we can have peace in the region, where our regional allies and, of course, the American people, most importantly, can be secured, but where we can ensure that the destruction of the Iranian nuclear program that has already happened is not something they try to rebuild.
I want to get to the obliterated part in just a minute, but I just want to read this fully so I get the context here. Congratulations to everyone. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire in approximately 6 hours from now, when Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their in-progress final missions for 12 hours, at which point, the ceasefire for 12 hours, at which point the war will be considered ended. Officially, Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire, and upon the 24th hour, an official end to the 12-day war will be saluted by the world. During each ceasefire, the other side will remain peaceful and respectful on the assumption that everything works as it should, which it will. I would like to congratulate both countries, Israel and Iran, on having the stamina, courage, and intelligence to end what should be called the 12-day war. This is a war that could have gone on for years and destroyed the entire Middle East, but it didn't and never will. God bless Israel. God bless Iran. God bless Iran. God bless the Middle East. God bless the United States of America. And God bless the world.
If this holds and they wind up coming into a peace, which the ceasefire is already starting to take place, Trump will go down as the greatest, in my personal opinion. Trump will go down as perhaps the greatest president of all time, shutting down Iran, which no other president was able to do prior to him taking office. This is amazing. This is nothing short of epic, considering that, again, I even personally had my own reservations because I never wanted to be dragged into a war. And I think that that largely comes from the fact that we've been supporting our allies, especially during the Biden administration. We've been supporting Ukraine, unable to get a deal of a war that possibly, potentially, based off of what Trump tells us, should have never happened in the first place. And so now you see that the United States of America partnered with Israel, and we've been having conversations, and I've been hearing since I've been alive that Iran has been trying to get a nuclear weapon and enrich uranium in order to be able to build a nuclear weapon and so on and so forth, and they refuse to bow down and refuse to get themselves together. And then next thing you know, over 12 days, you see Israel launch an offensive, and multiple different military leaders, scientists, all of that. And Trump then proceeds to say, hey, everybody needs to evacuate out of Tehran, by which the United States of America then deploys bombs over the last 24 to 48 hours, bunker buster bombs, to then absolutely obliterate and destroy, according to what Trump says, and destroy their ability to create and make nuclear weapons. And so, whereas all of these liberals continue to protest against him, even though I didn't fully understand why we are so gung-ho about making sure that we align with Israel and partner with them, and I never wanted any new wars, one of the things that I continuously said is, I trust our president. I know that he knows what he's doing, and I voted for him, and so we're going to see what happens. And what you now see taking place, as communicated by J.D. Vance and read by Fox News, is the war technically is officially over. Let's go back and see what else they have to say about this.
He seems confident that this is all coming together.
That's right.
And when you left the White House, were you thinking this was all gelling here?
When I left the White House, I thought that we might be able to get it across the finish line before this broadcast, and it looks like the president has been able to do that. I mean, look, he's been working the phones constantly. Frankly, before the 12-day war started, but certainly over the past 12 days, the president's been extremely clear about America's national objective here. It is to create a world where Iran cannot build a nuclear weapon. We, of course, destroyed the nuclear program that they had, and the president told the entire team, we're going to work to make sure that they don't try to rebuild that nuclear capability in the future. And it's, look, this is a great thing. For Israel, think about this. They've accomplished an important military objective. They've helped us destroy the Iranian nuclear program. They've also destroyed the conventional missile capability of Iran that threatened the country of Israel. For the Iranians, I think this is a new opportunity to actually pursue the path of peace. As I said yesterday, what the Iranians have showed through their support of terror networks, through their now failed effort to build a nuclear weapon, is that they're just not very good at war. And I think the president really hit the reset button and said, look, let's actually produce long-term peace for the region. That's always been his goal. I actually think when we look back, we will say the 12-day war was an important reset moment for the entire region.
Would you be surprised if Iran is sending out signals that it doesn't have a specific ceasefire plan? How would the communication have been with the Iranians to get this level of confidence to put out that detailed statement?
Well, one of the things I've learned, Brett, about the Iranians in the past, 4 or 5 months that I've been in this job is what they say publicly and privately can sometimes be very different. I think what the Iranians have shown very clearly is they don't want this war to go on for much longer. Their air defenses have been totally destroyed. Their conventional missile program has been largely destroyed. And of course, their nuclear program has been obliterated, as I said before. So I think the Iranians are at a place where they don't want to keep on fighting. You saw the president, and I don't have the truth in front of me, but he talked about the next 6 hours finalizing the attacks. I mean, I think what he's talking about is right now, for the American people watching, it's dark over there. That's typically when the Israelis and the Iranians have been shooting at each other. I think there's some recognition that that might continue for another few hours, and tomorrow really is a new day. The end of the 12-day war, the end of the Iranian nuclear program, and I really do believe the beginning of something very big for peace in the Middle East.
So long story short, we now have an officially ended, according to what Trump is saying and the notifications that I've been getting from several different people, that this war is pretty much winding down. It should be over. And so you won't see much from Iran because they'll be so busy focused on trying to maintain power within their regime, as well as trying to make sure that they no longer are getting themselves destroyed as a result of opposing the United States of America and opposing our leadership. And I think this is largely, think about this for a second, right? Let's break it down like this. If you had Kamala Harris in office, would we still be having this conversation about Iran? So much so to where we become kind of like desensitized when we hear the Iran or Tehran or, any of those people, any of their regime. And when we start to hear about how Trump has completely neutralized and also secured a peace deal, I think that the only thing that he needs to do at this point in order to put a cherry on top is secure peace between Russia and Ukraine. And I don't know how feasible that is, but I'm pretty sure that he's working feverishly in order to do so because his legacy on the line as a result of it. But this is absolutely positively the best case scenario. Clearly, they have communications and a plan, and they plan 3D chess, 4D chess, and we're just the ones that's on the sideline. And so thankfully, we have strong leadership that continues to place Americans first, and hopefully there's peace for the Iranian people. And I will keep you guys updated as usual. Make sure you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. Q show tonight. We're going to talk about it.